This week's episode is kindly sponsored by Star Trek Fleet Command. Stick around to the end of the video for more information. Introduced in the 2280s, not long after the renowned Excelsior class, the Constellation class cruiser was designed to serve in the dual role of a deep space explorer and mid-range defensive patrol craft for vulnerable Federation territories. Named in honour of the Constitution class USS Constellation, the Constellation class made up a significant fraction of the Federation Starfleet in the late 23rd and early 24th centuries, with some remaining in active service as late as the Dominion War. At a length of 310 metres and a width of 140 metres, the Constellation class presents a distinctive space frame, built around a thick saucer section encompassing most of the ship's 17 decks and propelled by 4 warp nacelles for an emergency maximum speed of warp 9.2. The vessel carried a standing crew of 350, but could be operated by a skeleton crew of 40 when necessary, and the ship's large bow-facing shuttle bay offered space for numerous personnel shuttles and work bees. The small cruiser had a reputation for durability as well as speed, employing a cluster of 4 Avidyne impulse drives for sublight manoeuvring that were later replaced by more modern impulse systems later in the Constellation's career. The Constellation class was the last Federation starship model to carry traditionally mounted phaser emitters, prior to the introduction of phaser strips with the subsequent Ambassador class. The Constellation carried 6 Type 8 phaser emitters, distributed across the saucer section, as well as an impressive 6 photon torpedo launchers, fed by a magazine of 160 warheads. The ship's deflector shields were of moderate strength, but could offer a good deal of survivability when coupled with the ship's impressive agility. Without a doubt, the most well-known example of the Constellation class was the USS Stargazer, the first command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, early in what would prove to be a legendary career. Picard assumed command of the Stargazer following the death of its commanding officer in combat, and received a battlefield promotion to the rank of captain. Under Picard's command, the Stargazer would achieve an impressive record in its exploration duties, as well as seeing frequent action in the Cardassian Wars. Ultimately, the Stargazer was mortally damaged and abandoned following the Battle of Maxia, not long after the vessel had performed what would later be known as the Picard Maneuver, an ingenious tactical application of warp drive that would earn Captain Picard the Grankite Order of Tactics. The Constellation class fell into a logistical support role in the twilight years of its career, often serving as a transport and training ship, with a notable example being the USS Hathaway, that partook in Operation Lovely Angel in 2365, a simulated wargame that pit the vessel against the Galaxy-class USS Enterprise. The Hathaway would later be briefly returned to active service for deployment as part of a crucial blockade during the Klingon Civil War in 2368, and her sister ship, the USS Victory, would see frontline combat with the Dominion as late as 2374, where, perhaps unsurprisingly, the now ancient vessel reported massive casualties to the regional command center at Deep Space Nine. Serving in Starfleet for just over 90 years, the Constellation class is remembered as a hardy and versatile craft that helped lay the groundwork for drastic advancements in the later Ambassador and Galaxy classes. Though not as acclaimed as some of her contemporaries, the Constellation was a crucial and perhaps underappreciated workhorse of the Federation for many decades, quietly carrying out her many duties with enduring diligence. Big thanks to Star Trek Fleet Command for sponsoring this video. Fleet Command is a mobile game available on Android and iOS. It is a tactical space strategy MMO that allows you to take control of various classic ships run by classic characters from Star Trek. You can equip your ships with crews and equipment, characters like Kirk and Spock and Worf and Picard. Play as the Federation, the Romulans, the Klingons. You can even go freelance with independent ships. The story is updated monthly, and the game has a vast existing player base, so you can work alone or together with friends to complete various quests, even construct space stations, and build towards a perfectly refined and powerful fleet of ships that should be able to take you through any encounter. If you follow the link in the description to check out Star Trek Fleet Command, not only will you be able to enjoy the game, but you will be supporting Spacedock, which we tremendously appreciate. So please do check it out. You can find the link in the description. It's free to play. And thanks once again to Star Trek Fleet Command for the sponsorship. Thank you all for watching. This is Daniel from Spacedock, signing off.